Welcome to the Spires of Ascension, this time with the Protection Paladin, and we're gonna see if my new legendary cloak actually gives us a bit of a buff. I just inspected the group a little bit before starting, and they seem to have almost all gotten their legendaries as well, except for the Death Knight. The other ones do have a legendary that is for their current class, so that's super nice. So my cloak should give me 1% haste per finishing move, stacking up to 5% haste, which is super nice. In this group we have some range DPS, which is very handy. Oh, here we go. For the first boss, for example, we need to kind of time when both of the parts of the boss go down. And also the damage coming through is quite alright. So this dungeon, I feel this is one of the more dreaded ones. It also doesn't unlock while you're leveling, but it first unlocks at level 60. The end boss is quite the running mechanic boss, so I'm hoping that we'll get that one down quickly. Everybody knows what to do. It's always a gamble when you're running low keys, because you can be relatively sure that people know the mechanics when you're doing higher keys, because they must have done something right. But if you're in lower keys, you never know. Also, I mean, you're not at the point where you, for a +2 check Raider IO, have they completed that specific dungeon on a difficulty before, or on Mythic at all. I remember I did this dungeon on Mythic once, where after the end boss somebody said, "Oh, now I also understand this boss," and somebody was completely bewildered by like how they could not have, like how they would dare to enter the dungeon without that. That was good. So the Goliaths should optimally be interrupted whenever possible. Luckily, as a Protection Paladin, you have about 500 interrupts a minute due to your Ascension shield procs and stuff. So it's like, it shouldn't be too difficult. The reason why I got the Cloak Legendary is, by the way, because that also works for Retribution Paladins. So the effect is not only for my tank spec, but oh, that's my bad. Should have kept a closer eye on the boss there. But maybe they were also just standing in the thing that they weren't supposed to stand in. Word of Glory is kind of equally useful like the other effect was. I'm not sure what that was called actually. In the last expansion I had a heal as well that I couldn't target by default, so I'm actually quite happy that they made it the same spell now for Retribution, Protection and Holy. because that means less difference between all the action bars and stuff like that. You kind of have an ability that you know what will do independent from spec. I have to say I like that update they made to the Paladins. So you know it's always going to be a self heal or even a group heal, no matter which spec you're in. Also with the mouse over macros, oh shit, shouldn't be standing that. With the mouse over macros, it makes the heals to your group mates so much easier. Oh shit, that's a pool I shouldn't be standing in. There we go. Let's boss down. I think that was also one of the highest DPS after the mage in the trash fight, so it's a bit of a shame that the Death Knight was not alive for that one. So the legendary that is recommended for Mythic dungeons is actually the one that empowers your Shield of the Righteous, which I choose to not pick because I wanted mine for the Retribution as well. I'm not sure how it affects Holy, but it's not completely useless for Holy because you still use Holy Power Spenders. So Word of Glory should still have a positive effect while wearing that legendary compared to wearing no legendary, which is kind of what I was interested in because I messed up my first legendary and put a memory in it that was not useful for anything but playing Holy, and then also not considered best in slot for any kind of Holy context. So I'm quite happy that I actually have a spec relevant Holy now. Not that it makes like a super big difference. You can run dungeons without having any Holy power, but it's certainly going to make it easier for yourself if you pick an appropriate one. So these little islands that you need to go through in order to get to the top, they can be quite tricky. Also there's a patrol coming, so they can be quite dangerous depending on... Oh shit, let that one go through. Healer's gonna be mad. So here's also where the Kyrian class ability really is very useful again, because you have multiple interrupts, because you immediately throw your shield at multiple opponents. So that has made my life a lot easier in caster heavy dungeons like the Necrotic Wave and also here, because it just instantly interrupts all the ranged that you could wish for. So I'm not sure if there's like an invisible trash pack under these right now, because I don't remember. Appears that there wasn't. Ooh. And then at the end of each platform in this dungeon, there's the obligatory angel to pick you up by your head, or your chin as it looks, if you're a dwarf. I saw the Boomkin owls get picked up by their antlers, so it's like the comic relief between the stressful mythic trash packs. It's really interesting how the combat system hasn't, or in my opinion, hasn't changed a lot in World of Warcraft, but they put in a lot more mobility dependent things now. So it used to be that some classes just weren't very mobile, and now it's like, well, every class kind of has to be a bit mobile, or at least most of them have some kind of ability that makes them run faster for a while or do something. Oh. This is not nice. I pulled a patrol. Now I understand why they all went back down there. Also, my mass interrupt isn't ready. So I'm not supposed to be standing that. That's, by the way, on the healer that we had all survived that. That is very poorly done by me, but very well done by the healer. I apologize for that. That was not on purpose. So some of the combinations of trash packs are quite interesting, because the Goliaths obviously do some group damage, but they can be held at bay by kind of interrupting them, and the some of the spellcasters are still more dangerous. So they're not always straightforward to prioritize. Also knowing which of them still are vulnerable to stun obviously helps, so I don't waste my stun on mob that will just keep casting. On these, I haven't actually seen a lot of variations of these. So the Dark Praetors, they will dash out of the group and keep casting. Like, he just zapped out right there. And he's certainly not one of the most dangerous enemies, but he's not very tankable in place. So this boss involves a bit of kiting, because he will always drop some evil effect on the floor after he dashes off to somebody. Well, no, actually before he dashes off to somebody, and then that effect will go off. Here we go. So that pool will now continue to throw out these bad effects, like the darkened blobs. So whenever he teleports away, he will spawn one of these things. Beware. And then he does a frontal effect that you shouldn't be standing at. Oh. It's kind of like about standing far enough away from... Oh god. Beware.
Beware. Beware.
Certainly a lot of balls going around now.
Beware.
Yeah, we can probably do 24k, right? Ooh.
Beware. Beware.
There we go. Maybe this is all because I tanked it horribly, by the way. I'm not sure, but I think you're supposed to kind of like spread them out a little bit. Yeah, who knows? I think the movement intensive boss might be a challenge. But let's see when we get there. Also, I'm not entirely sure where the trash percentage should be right now, but I know there is still some trash to be had. Also, it's easy to find more trash in the beginning because you can kind of on the first island you can go right or left. We went right. There's still trash standing on the left. So if we need more trash in the end, probably just go to the beginning of the dungeon and do some stuff. But yeah, let's see. There's at least, I think, 3 or 4 trash packs before we hit the end boss. Some very mean effects. Actually, I noticed this effect also in the Plaguefall dungeon, where the boss jumps around, the crazy alchemist guy. That there is some effects that go out in like a cross. I don't remember actually seeing those before as like a typical boss mechanic. So you kind of need to stay aware of the orientation of a mob jumping, because it will like move outward for them in like a front, left, right, and back direction, where usually they just have like don't stand near where they land, but you actually would need to stand quite far away to dodge that effect, which I think is a pretty interesting thing to do. I really need all the interrupts I can get here. I'm not sure how I would do this on the monk, actually. Well, I'm not sure if the stun would work on the Goliath. I bet it wouldn't. So the only AoE stun is really or AoE interrupt is really the Paladin shield. I'm a little bit confused. I can already hear fireworks outside, but we're like, you know, still away from Christmas. How is there firework already? I love that they called their ability Hurl, because it just has, it puts this comical image in my head of angels throwing up. Like, oh yeah, they're hurling. Yeah, we came in there and they all started hurling. I mean, I know, they're hurling a spear, but still. Do they want to do the boss? Oh shit, there's still trash right in front of the boss, like the other big angel mobs that flap up around there. Okay. I understand. It sounds like a good idea. Oh shit, I need to move the boss out of the field as well. I remember now. Oh. Again. Doing very badly at bring the boss away from the dangerous thing. That sounds good. That sounds like food is on the way. Or an unannounced visitor. I'm hoping it's not an unannounced visitor. I would have no way of tending to them right now. I think we're pretty lucky that we have a bunch of ranged DPS in the group. I think that makes it a bit easier to position yourself around all these glowing orbs. Oh, when I have the boss virtually, like, you know, right next to one of those fields. On the edge. I don't think this is one of the harder bosses, but I think, I mean, you still need to watch out. It's a mechanic you have like every day. Oh shit, we need to get the orbs. Or just kill the boss, that's fine as well. There we go. And up we go, last boss. I hope everybody knows what to do, because the damage should be bearable for the group and for the healer. It's just if you don't pick up the orbs fast enough on the last boss and actually get that spear to shoot the boss down, or if you miss the spear, that can be pretty damning. So these trash mobs here give you a debuff that will make you more vulnerable to damage. At least as far as I remember. Maybe only some of them. Oh, ow, ow. Ground effect. Yeah, so right now I have a damage taken increased. And also not stunnable. Shame. Yeah, so this one, after this one, it's advisable to let the debuff run out. We have enough time. We have 12 minutes. It's enough for 2 boss tries if we're not too terrible about it. The good thing is, if you run out of time, you have all the time in the world, right? I think a lot of things are more group patience dependent than what you can actually do. I also have to think of Assassin's Creed Odyssey when fighting this boss, because Devos... Oh, maybe I should also think of Game of Thrones, but I always think about the Demos, because they all have this angelic and evil nemesis thing going on in Assassin's Creed. So I was like, yes, I know this. Okay, everybody still... I should participate in healing the group. A little bit. So now for the final test of this dungeon. See how good everybody is at that. Quickly everybody gets into the protective zone. Okay. Alright, so I think that's also a mechanic that people are prone to forgetting, because that's not a mechanic on normal or heroic, it's only in Mythic. So I think that was definitely what caught some members of the group off guard there. Maybe they had already used their mobility or underestimated how quickly that spell goes through. But basically, as soon as boss mods tell you, hey, it's time to get into cover, you should get inside that pretty little snow globe. Just look at the paladin being carried by his beard. Almost like that angel's gonna throw me at a bunch of orcs in a bit. Everybody in range. Buffwood in, Hunter there. Wait, check. Here we go. Bad ground effects are bad. Oh my god, they put a little Christmas hat on her, and then they put a little Christmas hat on her head as well. Oh shit. Should maybe not have used my bubble there. Thought there was another spell she was casting. Ooh. Give me the cool ball. Oh, also better call my steward. I'm horribly unprepared because I don't have my files ready. Oh, did we miss it? I think we missed it. Yeah. Shame. So close. Don't understand what the healer's doing. Maybe that jumped off and they're being put back on. Ah, yeah. I bet that's what happened. There we go. So we're just out of time for the heroism. Or we're just out of time to do it in time with heroism. Let's see. I think I'm like the only nerd eating buff food or having a flask in. Can't believe how over the top they went with the Christmas hats on this one. Unbelievable. Oh my god. Ah, terrible. That was my bad. No battle rest. Yeah, really unlucky so far. Alright, I mean at least the pressure is off a little bit, because that won't be timed. At least people seem to know what's going on. I mean, we missed the spear and we missed running into the thing in time, but that doesn't mean that people generally don't know what to do. Would also be a fun mechanic to have to, like, charge her into the bad thing that then damages her. One ball. 2 balls. Where's the last one? Is that it? Okay. So she just moved. There we go. To get her down. Much smoother than before. There we go. Oh shit, shit, shit. There we go. Don't let me die here. Oh, shit, shit, shit. Should not spend all my mobility in the phase in between, should I? Maybe I should also tank her a bit smarter, that you can really see where you need to go as a DPS. Okay, this is gonna be tough because we're only four players on the board in this madness. Exactly, get the far out ones. Okay, did you just move? There we go. Okay, let's see if that worked. I think the bubble without losing aggro is my favorite paladin talent. Don't exactly want to sacrifice the entire group when I'm in trouble, so. Should we have 21? Ooh. Deaths. Oh no, I just managed to die. Well, that was terrible. My apologies if you have been watching this. However, if you want to see more paladin deaths, consider to leave a tiny subscription, and I'll see you next time. Also, let me know what you tank with. If you tank with anything, what do you tank with and why? Thank you. Bye bye.